Howdy, y'all. Welcome to part 10 of my Paramount Home Entertainment VHS Collection Update, 2023 edition. When we last left off in part 9, I stopped at the 1993 VHS A School Tie. And before we continue, I was going to do this last night, but unfortunately I sprung my ankle. So I didn't have a chance to do it, but now I'm finally doing it tonight. So, let's get down to business, shall we? Let's continue with the 1989 VHS of Last Dance with Fred Astaire and Betty Hutton. And this film is also starring Roland Young, Ruth Warwick, Lucille Watson, Gregory Moffat, directed by Norman Z. MacLeod, and the film is from 1950. And this is one of the Paramount communication tapes I forgot to show off in part 7. Not rated, and it's 112 minutes. And I believe this movie is out on DVD, but this movie is not out on Blu-ray, but hopefully this will be a good chance for it to be put out by Kino Lorber. And this is still in factory sealed, which I'm going to keep it that way. Up next, the 1990 VHS of Roman Holiday with Audrey Hepburn and Gregory Peck. Actually, it's introduced Audrey Hepburn because this is her film debut. Also starring Eddie Albert, directed by William Wyler, and the film is from 1953. I also have the 1983 VHS, which I show off in my part 1 tape. Not rated, is 118 minutes. Here's the sticker label, and it's got the Paramount 75th anniversary. Here's the end label. The 19th week of 1990. And there's the Moni Sound Only barcode. Up next, the 1991 VHS of Is Paris Burning? And with all-star cast with John Paul Belmondo, Charles Boyer, Leslie Caro, Jean-Pierre Cassel, also starring George Charkis, Alan Dion, Kirk Douglas, Glenn Ford, Gert Forbet, Yvette Montaigne, Anthony Perkins, Simone Sigorn, Robert Stack, Skip Ward, Orson Welles, and others. This is directed by Renee Clement, and the film is from 1968. And this is also written by Francis Ford Coppola. I believe this is one of the few debuts that involved with Paramount. This is Francis Ford Coppola's first involvement with Paramount Picture. And sadly, this movie is not out on DVD, unfortunately, but this will be a good chance to be released from Kino Lorber. Is Paris Burning? Yeah, this movie is not out on DVD. Not rated, and it's 173 minutes. And this is in black and white. Nominated for 2 Academy Awards. Here's tape 1. And label, sticker label. Tape 2, same thing. I forgot to rewind both tapes, but don't worry, I will take care of that. Both tapes is printed in the 34th week of 1993. And this is a Columbia House copy. Up next, also a 1991 VHS of Funny About Love with Gene Wilder, also starring Christine Lathay, Mary Stuart Matheson, directed by Leonard Nimoy, and the film is from 1990. Everyone has a biological clock. Duffy Birdman is about to go off. And this movie is also not on DVD. Bummer. Rated PG-13 and is 101 minutes. He wants to be a family man in the funniest way. And this is still in brand new and factory seal, which I'm going to keep it that way. Up next, also a 1991 VHS of Soapdish with Sally Field, Kevin Kline, also starring Robert Downey Jr., Kathy Moriarty, and Whoopi Goldberg. And this also has Elizabeth Shue, directed by Michael Hoffman, and the film is from 1991. Rated PG-13 and it's 97 minutes. This movie is out on Blu-ray, DVD, but sadly not on Blu-ray. But Kino Lorber will get this movie. Unfortunately, this tape is a bit torn on the box, but that's all right. Hysterical, says David Sheehan of KNBC TV, Los Angeles. Inspired lunacy, says Peter Chivers of Rolling Stones. 2 thumbs up, stated by the late Siskel and Ebert. Here's the sticker label for Soapdish and label. The 46th week of 1991, and there's the Moni sound only barcode. Former rental from Videodrome. Up next, the 1992 VHS of Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn and George Papard. Also starring Patricia Neal, Buddy Ebsen, Martin Balsam, and Mickey Rooney, directed by Blake Edwards, and the film is from 1961. And this is a French-Canadian VHS. "114 minutes, not rated." Winner of 2 classic, the romantic comedy that sparkles like a diamond. Here's the sticker label. It's a 1994 reprint, as you can see by the sticker right there. Here's the end label. This is probably a French dub tape. But the lens is cracked, but that's all right. Still plays. And unfortunately, there is no week in year code on this tape. This is a Canadian tape. I do have the English version on VHS, which I'm going to show that a little bit later. Up next, also a 1992 VHS of The Sons of Katie Elder, with John Wayne and Dean Martin. Also starring Martha Hyer, Michael Anderson Jr., Errol Holliman, and Jeremy Slade, directed by Henry Hathaway, and the film is from 1966. Not rated and is 122 minutes. Here's the sticker label. Here's the end label. The 45th week of 1992. Up next, also a 1992 VHS of The Conversation with Gene Hackman. Also starring Frederick Forrest, John Cazale, Alan Garfield, and Cindy Williams, and also has Harrison Ford, directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and the film is from 1974. Rated PG and is 113 minutes. Here's the sticker labels, a 1993 reprint. Here's the end label. This is printed in the 49th week of 1995. Up next, also a 1992 VHS of Apocalypse Now with Marlon Brando. Also starring Frederick Forster, Albert Hall, Sam Bottoms, Lawrence Fishburne, and Dennis Hopper. Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, and the film is from 1979. Interesting fact, during the production of the film, Martin Sheen almost died of a heart attack. And also plagued with production problems. Rated R and is 153 minutes. And this movie was originally released by United Artists, but Paramount obtained the rights in 1981. This movie is now in the hands of Lionsgate. And I know this movie came out in a Redux version in 2001. Here's the sticker labels, a 1999. This is a widescreen copy. Tape number is number 8. The 47th week of 1999. Up next, the 1992 VHS of The Butcher's Wife with Demi Moore and Jeff Daniels. Also starring Frances McDormand, Margaret Collin, and Mary Steenburgen, and George Dzonda, directed by Terry Hughes, and the film is from 1991. There's magic in the air. And this copy does have a mold on it, so I'm going to get another copy. Rated PG-13, and it's 107 minutes. The very good news is The Butcher Wife. The entire cast puts a spell of pleasure, says Gene Shalit of Today's Show. Sorry about my hands is shaking. Hard to get out here, but as you can see, there's a little bit of mold. There's a mold on it. So anyway, I'm going to have to get another copy. Here's the sticker label and label. 16th week of 1992, and there's the Moni sound only barcode. Up next, also a 1992 VHS of Enchanted April with Miranda Richardson, Josie Lawrence, Polly Walker, and Joan Plowright. And this movie also has Alfred Molina, Michael Kitchen, and Jim Broadbent, directed by Mike Newell, and the film is from 1992. Imagine a month in paradise with nothing to do but everything you have ever dreamed of. And this is a Miramax movie exclusively distributed by Paramount Home Video, but now Paramount now owns the rights to Miramax. How cool is that? Rated PG, and it's 93 minutes. Here's the sticker label. This is a 1995 reprint. Here's the end label. The 22nd week of 1995. Up next, the 1993 VHS of Save the Tiger with Jack Lemmon. Also starring Jack Gilford and introducing Laurie Hyman. Directed by John G. Avildsen, and the film is from 1973. Even though it says 1972, that's incorrect. And this movie, unfortunately, is not on DVD. Rated R, and it's 100 minutes. If I'm incorrect, let me know in the comments below. Here's the sticker labels, a 1994 reprint. Here's the end label. The 42nd week of 1994. Up next, the 1993 VHS of The Dead Zone, Stephen King's The Dead Zone, with Christopher Walken, also starring Brooke Adams, Tom Skerritt, Herbert Long, Anthony Zerber, Soul, Colin Dewhurst, Nicholas Campbell, and Martin Sheen. Directed by David Cronenberg, and the film is from 1983. My God, this movie is 40 years old. Rated R, and it's 104 minutes. Here's the sticker label and label. 37th week of 1994. Even though this tape is a little bit, the reel's a bit yellow, but that's alright. Still plays fine. Now here's another 1993 VHS of Stephen King's Silver Bullet with Gary Busey, Everett McGill, and Corey Haim, directed by Daniel Atkins, I believe, and the film is from 1985. Based on the novelette, A Cycle of a Werewolf. I also have this movie on DVD along with The Dead Zone. And this also has Megan Follows, rated R, in its 95 minutes. Here's the sticker labels and another 1995 reprint. This is from someone used to own a Valentine Barnes used to own this tape, but that's mine now. The 39th week of 1995. Up next, the 1994 VHS of Sunset Boulevard with William Holden and Gloria Swanson. This movie also has Eric von Stroheim, Nancy Olson, Fred Kark, and others, directed by Billy Wilder, and the film is from 1950. This is still in brand new in factory seal, which I'm going to keep it that way. Not rated, and it's 110 minutes. All right, Mr. DeMilla, I'm ready for my close-up, says Norman Desmond. And the last VHS, I'm going to stop here before we go to part 11, which is the 1994 VHS of Breakfast at Tiffany's. This is the widescreen edition film. This is also still brand new and factory sealed. Sorry, my hand's a bit shaky. Alright, that's it for part 10. Stay tuned for part 11.